guys, so here we go with my unboxing of my stuff. Primarily, like I said, I bought an air pump and some fittings and actually some air line from a company, but I would suggest you absolutely check with your local fish store to see if they offer this stuff, and go from there. Part of the reason I did this from this particular company is because I'm really copying something that I've seen other people do. But, you know, as always, you got to check and make sure that everything you ordered came in. And that's what I've done. And what do you know? You get yourself a nice free ink pen as part of the deal, too. So, if it's typical of free ink pens, it'll last about 10 minutes and then quit working. But anyways, let's take a look here and see what we got. This is from Jehmco, Jehmco, and everything is packaged really nicely. This is the hose that will connect the central air pump to the PVC tubing that I install. And everything's all sealed up, which is really nice. And then down inside there, I see there are the air valves or barbs or whatever you want to call them. These are self-tapping. And that black thing right there is an extra filter. I think I spent $4 on that. You can wash these filters out on these linear piston air filters. It's recommended, it says on it, about every 6 months, take it out and literally wash it in soapy water, let it dry, and put it back in. So there you go. Now, because I'm going to be dropping 20 to 25 lines, I got a big 200-foot roll of airline. And last but not least, that is the air pump itself. And again, keep in mind this is a linear piston air pump. There's no fan. It is literally a piston, like in a car, and it goes back and forth with the electric motor, and it pumps air into, well, basically wherever you want. You'll see a little bit more of that in the future. But this is the smallest one that Jehmco offers, and it is literally for 20 up to about 25 drops, but they don't want too few drops either, because if you hooked it up to like 5 things, the motor would burn out. It you know, puts out way too much air. So otherwise you would have to bleed that air pressure off, and basically it'd be a waste of time. So yeah, I'm gonna easily have a lot of airdrops to make use of this thing. But as you can see, it's pretty small. Got nice hard rubber mounting on it to keep it from vibrating. And these things are ridiculously quiet anyway, so that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show how this is. The simple one screw, take this off, and there is the filter. And it's tucked down in there, so of course I can't get it and get something, pry it out of there real quick. And there you go. That's all it is, just a piece of foam, kind of a sponge filter, which we are all very familiar with. But again, they only recommend having this thing cleaned once every 6 months with soapy water. Let it dry, put it back in, and there you're good to go. If it's deteriorating, then they recommend you get a new one. So that's it. Screw that thing back on there and you are done. Alright, so that being the expensive part of the deal, the rest of the stuff cost about $60. And that is some glue, some straps to put the PVC tube up, some screws to hold the straps in place, and then just a variety of fittings. And that is some connectors, and some 90-degree angles, and then also some T's, which you'll see how I use those. Then I had originally gotten this, and I was going to use this to put a drop in to drop the line down to hook up the pump, and then a cap to cap off an end. And I ended up not using those two pieces, so I'll take them back. But I ended up using 5, and then went and bought one additional piece. I was about 5 foot short of where I wanted to be with my connections. All right, guys, so this is just part 1, and now I'm going to show you how I put all the pieces together and show you the finished product. Didn't want to make the videos too long. Again, this won't work out for everybody. It's just something that, I've gotten a lot of tanks, might put in a few more. And when you get to this point, you got to figure out, how can you save some money? So initially I'll lay out some money, but again, I plan to be able to unplug really about a dozen air pumps, and small air pumps, and probably close to 10, maybe even close to a dozen individual filters, hang-on back filters. So I'm just going to run everything as much as I possibly can, other than a couple of really large tanks, off of sponge filters, and look forward to, hopefully it'll work out. I know a lot of people who said it has. So that's part 1, and thanks for watching. Stick around. Part 2 will be coming out before too long. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Hey, before I let you go, let me thank Northside Aquatics for letting me share my fun I'm having in my fish room with their viewers. Get out there and see them, folks. Northside Aquatics, Elkhart, Indiana.
Remember, everyone, support your local fish stores.